Hi.
Hello.
I'm playing Minecraft today.
I'm playing Montaro.
Yeah,
Montaro.
we're playing different games.
Montaro. Monty.
I'm going on easy because I'm best.
So this is our what? Third attempt at a podcast tonight?
Yep. It's taken
Yay!
us an hour and a half to finally start.
So we started with Portal 2, which was going to be really fun. And then we worked out that Portal 2 has completely broken voice chat settings. That means we sounded echoey as fuck and really distorted.
Yep.
So then we didn't do that. And then we tried to do this setup we have now, but on Steam Chat, and that fucked us. And now we're doing it again on Discord. And so far, so good.
Probably explain why the audio is bad. So essentially, you can hear all of Shaq's audio, but you can see me playing Minecraft.
Well, you can start with me playing, I guess. Like, I've got my video as well.
True.
Like,
that's true.
You can
we're going to be cutting between them, but basically, all the audio, even when I'm playing Minecraft, will be from Shaq's. Because my Discord, when Shaq comes through on Discord, it just cuts off like the first syllable of the first word for some reason. And we still don't know why it's doing that, so we're just
yeah,
we're just
like
done.
There's like an audio threshold thing where it doesn't click in the mic settings until a certain amount of noise has been activated, but I can't find anything in the settings to change that or to fix it, so we're just stuck with it basically. And that's our lives. That's
dumb.
That's how we've been recording all of our podcasts for the last forever.
Yeah.
With Sam not hearing the start of what I say.
Yep, it's fucking irritating, but we've solved it. We're just going to get on with it, and we're going to have a good time.
One day the lockdown will end, and we'll record everything in the same room again, like we used to.
Yeah, that'd be great. Crazy how we're in 2020, and technology is still a bag of shit.
Let's get right into the news.
So, yeah. If you didn't understand my reference, it's a Keemstar reference, how he opens his videos. Because Keemstar was trending this week. Because Ethan Klein made a video on him. A pretty bad video, in my opinion. Just to preface this, I don't like either of them. I used to really like Ethan and his content. Now I think it's shit, and he's just got no talent, and he's really just uninteresting and egotistical. And Keemstar's just a piece of shit. Everyone knows Keemstar's a piece of shit. I think that goes without saying.
Oh, yes.
But the video in question was made by Ethan. Essentially, Keemstar, I'm not too sure how long ago it was, made a video on him and the fact that he might have stole some money. Ethan might have stole some money from this company that had done this DLC for them or something. Long story, I won't go into that. It was a very small video. It was something that like Keem does all the time on Ethan. He always makes videos because they just don't get on. But for some reason, Ethan took this one to heart and thought, nah, fuck it. I'm going to make a 40-minute video taking you down by using things that people have brought up before that are bad about you. Then adding the Etika drama in just because he committed suicide and I can blame it on you and it might rally people to my way of thinking. Just to kind of rat on you for the last 5 minutes of this video because you upset me. That was essentially the video, and it was a pretty poor fucking video, if you ask me. It was a content cop, but it was content comp as in, I'm upset with you, so I'm going to just drill you on all these other points that have no relevance to the point.
Content cop was never really about personal beef.
No, it was just your content bad.
Even when it was, like, was that Tanner?
Yes, it was.
With the say.
But that's still kind of the whole video was about that point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Even when it was about personal drama, he didn't make it petty.
Exactly, yeah.
The show never felt like it was about personal drama, even when it was. Like, Ethan's always feel like it's just him airing his personal beefs.
Yeah, but he tries to make it into a meme, but you can just see right through it, I guess, other than his fans. I mean, don't get me wrong, Keemstar's a piece of shit. I think everyone knows he's a piece of shit. I don't know why he made this video, really, because everybody already knows he's a piece of shit other than his, like, 5-year-old fans. Like, who are you trying to convince? Like, Idams already did it years ago. It's like, it's not 2016, Ethan. And then, like, obviously the Etika stuff was ridiculous. And Keemstar made a video, a follow-up video, responding to him saying, "Fuck you, me and Etika were kind of friendly," and Etika did a video about Keemstar before the suicide, saying that he was a good friend and all that. It's like, fuck you and all this. Why do you do that? Why do you go after my sponsor and all this? The video wasn't perfect, Keem's response. It wasn't amazing, but there was some points where I'm like, yeah, he's spot on about the Etika stuff, though, which is the stuff I'm more bothered about. Why would you bring up someone's suicide, try and rally people to your side? You even, like, kind of, he's like, oh, he said on Twitter, I didn't blame the suicide on Keem at all. It's like, you pretty much implied it. Like, I didn't imply it. Like, no, you did. You I can't remember what the words were, but it was like, this is interesting.
Doesn't he literally make a comparison about some I can't remember. It's something about jumping off a bridge.
Yeah, essentially Etika was saying that it was on Keem's show and he said, oh, we're living in a simulation and all that, it's not worth it. And then Keem said, oh, well, would you just jump off a bridge or something? Like a hypothetical situation, which even says, yeah, it's hypothetical, but... And it's like, no, Ethan, you fucking idiot. And then Ethan's response video to Keem's response video, he doesn't even bring the Etika stuff up. He brings the sponsor stuff up, which I'm kind of mixed on. And I mean, it's more the Etika stuff that annoyed me. It's like, okay, cool.
I don't like the idea of going for someone's sponsor unless they've literally, like, done something really shitty that shouldn't have that sponsor. What was the argument against the sponsor thing? Like, was that specified or...
Basically, Keem's done it. Keem's like made people go against the sponsors as well. But Keem was just like, oh, fuck you, he's gone after my sponsor. He's got people to rally my sponsor as well. And he's a piece of shit. Why would that, he's a piece of shit. So why would you want to sponsor him? He didn't really kind of deliver on it. I was more annoyed because he just didn't bring up the Etika stuff in his follow-up video at all, even if he was quizzing on it. It's because he knows he's in the wrong. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, I just... And he brings up the fact... Keem in his response video is like, you're a hypocrite, Ethan. You've always been a hypocrite. And then Ethan's like, oh, so what if I'm a hypocrite? My point's valid. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe, but it just makes you like an idiot. If you've done those things that you've done and you are a hypocrite, let someone else mention it who's not done that and not you. Because why am I going to take your point seriously in the future if you've done the exact same thing? You're like, oh, it doesn't matter if I've done the same things. Like, yes, it does. Because it means that you're just an idiot and I don't want to take your opinion seriously. Whew, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You got any good news for us? Not even good, it could be bad. You got any news for us, Shaq?
I don't know, have I got any good news? Let me have a look. Is there any good news here?
News.
Ruby Rose left Batwoman, that's pretty good news.
Yay! Dun, 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 dun.
The show still is continuing for some reason, though, so I guess that's kind of bad news.
I give it another season, or at least like half a season, or I just give it until they can't find someone to replace her.
That would be the best choice. It's a terrible show. I don't think have we talked about Batwoman on the channel at all?
I don't think we have. Yeah, it's just shit.
Terrible show.
Might have mentioned the Arrowverse and stuff before, I'm not sure, but the Arrowverse was good for like the first 2 Arrow seasons, and then it was just terrible. Basically, I'm going to make a hotel. I'm going to gather loads of sheep.
I like that. That sounded like it was part of your argument against the Arrowverse.
I'm going to build a hotel.
Yeah, like the Arrowverse is just terrible. Basically, I'm going to make a hotel.
Yeah.
Please, guys, if you hate the Arrowverse, come and stay in my hotel.
Yes, please, thank you. Much appreciated. So yeah.
Oh, these fucking chickens, Sam. These fucking chickens.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but there's no chickens in Minecraft at the moment. It's just sheep. Can't find any chicken. Oh, never mind. I just found a chicken. That's good timing. Fucking chickens. Fucking chickens.
Mad lad.
Yeah. I mean, good riddance.
Oh, my screen just went epileptic for a second. That was weird. It just started flashing black and white, and now it's back normal.
Good. Do we know why Ruby Rose left Batwoman?
There's a lot of ups and downs about how truthful they're being about it. The official line is that it's to do with the working hours. But as a lot of people have pointed out, like, she knew the working hours when she signed up for it.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
People are like, apparently the official line is the working hours and that she didn't want to be contractually stuck in the same role, but she knew that when she started.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
And there's people that, allegedly, I should say, to be formal, but there are people who, other YouTubers have apparently confirmed have worked on the show, that said that she just didn't enjoy being on the show, apparently.
Fair enough. Good. Well, at least it's done.
So, I don't know. I don't know how true any of that is. I'm just a lot of hearsay, guys.
Interesting. Well, at least she's gone for now.
Have you seen all the... Every time I respawn, it does the spazzy screen thing, so apologies for that, guys. Oh, and I died again, so it's going to do it again.
Fucking do it again.
I'm just hoping we don't have any epileptic fans, because they're all going to fucking die. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do anything. I don't know why it's doing this. Oh, and I'm dead again. Oh, and you die so much in this game, so it's not even like it's going to be rare. I unlocked a white doggo, so now I'm a white doggo. Racist. Have you seen all the stuff about who they might recast? All the rumours and speculations and such?
No. Do tell.
I'll get a few of them up on my phone, because I watched a video on all of them, but I didn't know like a good chunk of them, so no way will I be able to do it by memory. I guess I'll just... I'm trying to play the game with one hand and search with the other. I was like, I guess I'll just leave it on the death menu. Ashley Platts.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her either. Apparently she was in Grey's Anatomy and Glow.
Oh, I've seen Glow, but I can't really place the name of the face or anything.
It says small roles, so whether she was anyone that you would remember, I don't know.
Possibly not, then.
Oh, there you go. Equally, she identifies as pansexual and such more than fits the LGBT plus criteria desired by the minds behind the show.
Okay, fair enough.
Should we talk about that one? Because that was the interesting one that I've seen people talk about in the casting.
Yeah.
All of the fan casting, so far I think it is just fan casting. Don't know whether the show has the same mentality here, but all the fan casting is saying that the only people they want cast are people from the LGBT community.
Yeah, that's
So is that not typecast? Is that not?
It's not diverse.
Yeah. What's the word? It's. It's. I guess sexuality profiling. I don't know. I want to say whatever the sexuality version of racial profiling is. Surely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one to me. I get the whole argument, diversity, blah, 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 blah. But surely anyone can play anyone. Is that not the point? Like, remember Barney Stinson, who's like one of the most womanizing, slutty straight male characters, played by Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah. But he's gay in real life, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and everyone loves both of them.
That's so dumb. The job of an actor is to act and pretend to be someone.
Yeah, I don't understand that prerequisite of the casting. Like, I have no issue with them casting someone that is, by all means, if they're best for the job. But to say we're not even thinking about people that aren't seems weird. Like, can you imagine if people were like, oh, well, you can't cast Ruby Rose in that role because this character's straight.
Yeah.
Like, there would be outroar. Rightfully so. Yeah, I guess let's get to the rest of the casting, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
So we have Stephanie Beatriz. I think that's how you pronounce it.
No idea.
She is Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, her, yeah. I think she put a tweet about it, actually. She's like, oh, I'm reading up on Batwoman now or something.
She's a pretty good actress. She's quite funny in that show. It would be nice to see a Kate Kane that can actually do comedy, because God knows Ruby Rose couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's the one out of all the ones I saw that I'd actually be happy. I mean, it still probably wouldn't make me watch the show, but I'd be like, oh, well.
At least they got someone good in it.
But yeah, I don't know. Same thing, though, where it's like... And she recently came out as bisexual, therefore she'd be a good... I'm like,
yeah.
Don't know why it matters, but okay. Brianna Venskus? Venskus?
Nope. Not a fucking clue.
A more conventional choice, apparently.
Alright.
With notable turns on Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Walking Dead. Still doesn't say who they played, so...
I have no idea. I'm just gonna nod.
She has short hair, if that helps. I know you've watched The Walking Dead, so that maybe...
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think.
I really enjoy this. They don't realise... I think this is meant to be a compliment, but I feel like it's beautiful. With notable turns on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Walking Dead, the actress has amassed quite the resume over the years, proving herself quite adept with the action and kind of dialogue that the Arrowverse leans into. Therefore garbage, is what you're saying.
Fucking ouch.
I feel like they mean it as a compliment. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
They're trying to be like, oh, she's been in really cool things like The Walking Dead and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like, no, yeah, at the end, those two shows were pretty much the Arrowverse, yeah. Crystal Reed.
Oh, really? That'd ruin her a bit.
Yeah. From Swamp Thing and Gotham.
Yeah.
I mean, is she LGBT?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I didn't think so. She's the only straight person on the list. They did it. They got one.
We got one!
Well,
Fuck off, cat.
I just don't.
Sorry, there was a cat.
Couldn't care. Couldn't care about any of them.
Yeah, just like the show itself.
Yeah.
Haha.
What else has happened this week?
Well, while we're on the subject of Batwoman, I was going to talk about... Obviously, I don't still watch the show. I didn't even watch the show to begin with. I checked out a bit of the first episode to see how bad it was. But I've kept very up to date to it since then, so I'm entitled to criticize it by watching the fantastic Jay Longbone's Batwoman reviews, which I will plug here. Go and watch them if you want to laugh. It's a fantastic way to laugh at a terrible show without having to actually, you know, suffer through how bad it is. But you also get to see how bad it is. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's good. She's a good girl. Yeah, I watched her recent one on the last episode where basically Kate's having... spoilers for Batwoman, by the way. Hopefully none of our audience care. Bit disappointed in you if you do, guys. Just saying. Not saying I don't want the clicks, but, you know. Yeah, Kate is depressed and guilt-ridden because she accidentally strangled a man to death. As you do when you're a superhero that's completely in charge of her own sanity. Yeah, a man teases her, so she strangles him to death. This actually happens in the show. This isn't a joke. And then she's feeling guilty because she's like, oh man, I was meant to be a hero and not strangle people to death. God damn it. Silly Kate. And then she admits to Lucius Fox's son, who's basically her like assistant bitch, that she did it at the end of the episode. And he's like, it's okay. Batman killed the Joker, so you're just the same. Why do you think he left Gotham? And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not that bad then if Batman did it. And that's it. That's all the detail they go into on that.
Great character writing.
Imagine,
fantastic.
Like, that's the treatment you give Batman. Just unceremoniously, with no explanation, saying, remember that one rule that his entire character's based around, that if he ever broke, it should be a really, really powerfully delved into subject of why he would ever break that rule? Yeah, fuck that. He just killed the Joker, and then he was like, ah, fuck, I'm leaving Gotham.
For shits and gigs.
And that's the reveal, and I was like, that's an interesting one. That's like, I don't know. I was going to say that's the most disrespectful thing they've done to Batman in this show. But they did kill him in the crossover with the Arrowverse, so I guess that counts.
Oh yeah, Kevin Conroy.
We'll insert that on screen now.
Fucking whores! You fucking whores!
That
What
terrible
a fucking
death
waste
screen.
that was. Ugh.
So yeah, terrible show. Not really looking forward for them bringing it back, to be honest.
The new actress, that's just going to be funny.
Yeah, and I guess it's meant to have the same continuity, which is just dumb. I hate things that recast people like mid-season. It's just fucking stupid. Mafia remaster. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a shame. I'm really sad about that one.
They released the Mafia 2 remaster definitive edition alongside the Mafia 3 Remaster Definitive Edition, and both of them are allegedly terrible. I checked out the second one, and it is terrible. I've seen from the reviews that the third one is also terrible. Yeah, very terrible optimization. Some of the graphical glitches make the game look worse than it did in the original. There's literally a mod for Mafia 2 that I've always used since I first got it on PC that makes the game look beautiful way better than this remaster did. So a modder did their job for them years ago better than they did with an actual budget. And yeah.
Sounds about right.
Just fucking crazy. And they're working on Mafia 1 remaster, which I was actually excited for.
And they're like just remaking the whole game.
Yeah, but I'm worried they're just going to do the same thing, and it's still going to be fucking broken. I guess we'll find out. If they're making it from the ground up, hopefully there's less chance of that happening, but still maybe? I'm wondering what I was going to ask. Do you think it's just 2K? Because obviously the Bioshock remasters suffer from similar issues. And that's 2K.
I mean... Maybe? I don't know.
Like, obviously they're different developers.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I'm wondering...
And Bioshock wasn't the worst.
It's not good. I can send you videos of that. There'll be stuff that you haven't noticed, but graphically it is worse in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like, there's scenes where shadows on the walls are cut off halfway on the remaster. There's scenes where certain textures are just missing. Certain lighting is worse in the remaster than it is in the original. Like,
yeah.
It's arguable. Some people might say they prefer it, but it's certainly not a complete improvement. There's a lot of things that are worse than the original. And then obviously there's a lot of actual bugs where it fucking breaks a lot as well.
I'll have a look at those. Well, I don't know.
What do you mean you'll have to have a look at yours? It crashed for you like 300 times.
Oh no, I mean I'll have to look at the clips.
Okay.
But
I said there were a lot of bugs that fucked it up, and then you were like, I'll have to have a look at those. I was like, what do you mean? Just thought you were just being contrary. I was like, you were the one that told me about half the bugs before I looked into them.
Yeah, they were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, not great. But I just wondered, obviously it's the same company.
I mean, they work okay, and they worked alright in the end, but Bioshock 2 was particularly bad for, like, just crashing. I kept having to save it over and over again. It was really irritating. But yeah, maybe it might be a coincidence that, yeah, possibly, it is just the same company.
Well, I'm just wondering whether, obviously, the developers are given the task to do it by the publisher, which is 2K, and then 2K are like, who needs quality control? Just you guys get on with it, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
Who knows?
Shame.
Don't know. Yeah. What else was I going to say about it? I felt like there was something else I had to say about it. Oh, they added a warning screen at the start, which I thought was hilarious.
Warning for what? Being bad?
The game might be culturally insensitive.
Yeah,
I was like... I was trying to think... I was like, it's a very mild game. Like, there's a scene where a guy gets hacked up by an Asian guy, but I don't think that's insensitive to Asians. He's the one doing the hacking.
What a fucking... Oh...
Yeah, I was like, can you imagine if that was like at the start of fucking Goodfellas?
Yeah.
This game may be this movie may be culturally insensitive. How? Like I'm a clown? Like I'm a PC clown?
That's so... I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess we should just... We've never really gone into huge detail because we've never done like a full-on news episode. But I guess we should just get it out the way, and I'm sure most people know by now, but yeah, we're not particularly big on PC culture.
No. It's a bit of a disaster in places, isn't it?
It's a bit of a disaster in most places.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think there's a difference between telling a story and being a cunt.
Yeah.
My rule of thumb is don't be a cunt, but that doesn't involve telling jokes and/or telling interesting narratives that you think don't suit you. We've talked about ones before where people have complained that certain characters have died because they're gay and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing drives me insane. I'm like, so what, that character's not allowed to have a really powerful, meaningful send-off? Like...
Essentially, yeah, they're just invincible. plot armor, you know.
As
Well,
like, if
plot
anything,
armor,
you're
just
detracting from the character because now they're not allowed to be an interesting like character that is at risk. There's no tension for the character if nothing could happen to the character.
Yeah. Wasn't there a big, quite a sensitive topic, but there was a big suicide, wasn't there, in the
Wrestling community, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know too much about it. I think it already happened as of day of recording, I believe.
Yeah, I think it may have happened in the late hours of last night, but I'm not sure because of time zones. Yes, Hana Kimura, who is a Japanese female wrestler, who is in I forgot the name of the show.
Is it the Something House? Something House, yeah.
Terrace House, there we go.
Terrace House, yeah.
She's on a show called Terrace House, where obviously it's reality TV and it's quite faked.
Yeah.
So they intentionally made her character abrasive to another person in the house. And then all of the reality TV stans that didn't understand the difference between acting and reality decided she was a terrible person for kicking off with this other guy on the TV show and started sending her loads of like shitty messages and telling her she should just disappear and all these kind of things.
It's fucking crazy because it's just the same with Love Island over here because there have been a couple of suicides from Love Island, and I mean there's been 3. Caroline Flack, I mean the Caroline Flack one's kind of unrelated because she was a presenter and it was a separate problem, but it really fucking shows how bad reality TV is and how poison it is for people.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things I was going to say is, do you think, as a separate point, I guess, that there's a lot of issues to unpack here, I guess is the point.
Yeah.
But do you think there should be potentially some kind of checks in place for how reality TV is executed? Because it doesn't seem like it's doing everything in the safest way possible, let's say.
It's hard to do it because if you tell people, the audience, oh yeah, this isn't real, then it's not reality TV, it defeats the purpose. But, you know, if you make the actual show reality, it might be boring. They have to drum up some kind of entertainment for people to enjoy.
I'm not totally just blaming reality TV either for what that's worth. In an ideal world,
it's not.
In an ideal world, even if she had kicked off at someone in real life and she actually had done it, that's not the way you should respond to that. That's not the way you should treat someone who lost their temper at somebody. That's not decent humanity, you know.
Everyone does it.
So I have a lot of issues. The main issue, I guess, is obviously how these toxic stans, let's call them, have dealt with their resentment.
Yeah.
We have a lot of issues with various people, celebrities, and people in positions of pop culture, I guess. We don't harass them.
No.
Ever. Not even all the time. We just don't harass them at all, because it would never cross my mind to do. Like, there's people who I think they're a shitty person and I disagree with their practices. And then I just get on with my day, because that's not my place to harass that person or to make their life hell.
Yeah.
Like, the worst we're going to do is do like a content cop or rant or something about the practices. And even then, it's not going to be about the person themselves.
Yeah.
Like, unless the entirety of the person themselves is a piece of shit, then we're not going to cover it as though they are, because that's just a shitty way of shitty way of criticizing. And on top of that, even if the person is a complete piece of shit, I don't think that they should be treated the way that these people are being treated, these celebrities.
No, because it's just like an eye for an eye doesn't always, you know.
Surely the ideal goal, and by the way, I'm not saying this about Hana Kimura because I don't think she did anything wrong, but in a hypothetical situation where a celebrity had done something wrong, surely the ideal goal is to get them to learn from it, not to just get them to just disappear. Yeah. How does that how does that make the world a better place if you're not improving? Surely the point of any criticism is to improve. When we rag on Disney, we don't do it because we hate Disney and we want them to close down. We do it because we hope that eventually, if enough people do it, I'm not saying our channel's going to do it, but you know what I mean? If there's enough YouTubers, if there's enough voices out there that are like, this isn't the way to do your business, maybe someone will finally pay attention and change it. It's happened before. Yeah. Sonic. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
You get enough criticism for something, and people can change things. Businesses, human beings, anything. But
very inspirational.
There's a difference between criticism and harassment.
Yeah, no, totally.
That's where I think a lot of these people don't know where to draw the line. That's my issue. I mean, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about why we think people are like this, I guess. Like,
sure.
There's been a lot of it. I mean, an example that I guess we can both talk about interestingly is The Last Jedi, and obviously Rian Johnson, forgot her name, the girl who plays Rostico. Kelly Marie Tran.
That's it, yeah.
The Last Jedi and the stuff that happened with Rian Johnson and Kelly Marie Tran. I would say they're both different enough examples, because I don't think Kelly Marie Tran deserved any of the criticism she got. I certainly don't think she deserved the hate that she got. Rian Johnson probably deserved some of the criticism he got.
Yeah.
I still don't think he deserved hate mail.
No, definitely not.
I think that's the point. We would both probably say that we hate The Last Jedi, I would assume.
Yeah.
And we think most of those issues are down to Johnson.
But that's...
If I was in a room with him and he said, do you want to have a drink and talk about it and be friendly, I'd be like, yeah, of course. Like...
It's a normal thing to do.
That's the issue. I know that it's a different overall issue, but I think it comes down to what we keep saying about debate. And this idea that people just instantly go to hate. So you can't have a conversation or a debate about anything anymore. And it works the same with these kind of things, where it's a celebrity or an influencer, or... What's the word I'm searching for? Personality, that's the word. A personality. Yeah. I feel like personality is the best term, because it sums them all up into one, you know?
No, I know what you're saying.
A personality that maybe you don't gel with who they are, you can just get on with your life. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of celebs that a lot of people love, and I'm like, I really don't like how they act as people, and I have genuine issues with them. But at no point I've ever thought I'm going to message them and tell them that, or try and make their life hell, or try and rally other people against them. I just go, not for me.
It's a dick thing to do, isn't it?
And then I move on. I don't understand the kick these people get out of causing suffering, it seems, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, essentially. It's nice to have people feel bad.
Shitty, basically.
At the end of it. Yeah, for sure.
Nobody, in my opinion, should ever be made to feel like that, especially on a public platform. Like, it's just fucking shitty. And as much as we don't have a huge fan base, on the off chance that we do at some point, and people go back and watch the video, literally message me, and maybe Sam if he's up for that too.
Yeah.
I'm literally always okay to talk to anyone, especially anyone that is a fan of the channel. But anyone that just wants someone to talk to you, it's obviously anonymous.
We're here.
No one should ever be made to feel that alone, is basically my point. GTA stuff's probably worth talking about, right?
Yeah, go for it.
We both use it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, another...
G2A.
You actually, I think, know more about this than I do, which is why I was gonna... You know more about the controversy, I think, because you said you'd seen other people being anti-G2A in the past.
Yeah, because they basically fuck over indie developers who, you know, don't have, you know, a lot of money, I guess. Fair enough, I suppose, fucking over the smaller businesses, but as selfish as it sounds, I like my cheap games.
Yeah,
I mean, what else
can
I say?
It's different on Steam, I think. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs, the financial details. When there's a sale on Steam, does the developer get less money than if it was on full price?
I don't know.
I don't.
I'm not too savvy with it. I watched the video like ages ago, and I've just not.
Because I was going to say, is Steam not the same if it's doing the sales? Because they do horrendously cheap sales for a lot of indie games.
I don't know. I guess
I think they might have something worked out where the developer gets a bigger cut. I think Steam maybe loses money there when they do the sales.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, not 100%.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to me. I said to you when we first talked about this, I'm kind of similar with a lot of art in that regard, where I'm okay with people getting their art cheap and or free to begin with, if that's how they want to do it, and then if they really like it, then they can support it, and they should.
Yeah.
For instance, my example I used was Doki Doki Literature Club, which is a game that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. I won't spoil it if you're not, but it's a game that's very interesting, very subversive on Steam, and it's free on Steam, so you can download it and play the full game for free. And then there is a DLC pack, which is like soundtracks and wallpapers and some like behind-the-scenes shit. That's basically the price that it would be if it was a full game. So you can play the game and enjoy it, and decide later if you've enjoyed it enough to spend some money on it. You can buy the DLC pack, which obviously I did, and I don't think I've used any of it yet. I think I might have listened to the soundtrack a few times, but that's about it. I didn't buy it for the content of it, I bought it to support the game, as did most of the people that bought it from the Steam reviews. Which I think, in my opinion, is a good business model, you know? You put your art out there, if people like your art, then they support you.
I guess there's a bigger demographic that won't, though, who'll just think, oh, it's free.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the same with YouTube.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that say there's a load of people that watch my videos and they're not subscribed to me. They don't donate anything, and I don't expect them to. Like, Jeremy from The Quartering said that, where he's like, if you don't want to give me any money, don't give me any money. That's fine. If you really like my content and you do want to give me money, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm okay with that as a business model. I understand the criticism. I'm not minimizing it. I'm not saying it's right, but I do like that as a business model. That's why I like the idea of Patreon and things like that, where people can support you based on how much they want to support you.
Yeah, and you get stuff out of Patreon as well, like bonuses.
All of the Patreons that I am Patreons? Patreons?
Patreons. Pretty sure it's Patreons. Yeah.
Are the Patreons the creators or the people using it, though? That was I'm confused. It's like the employee-employer thing. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
Are they the Patreon or am I the Patreon? All of the people I subscribe to on Patreon are relatively small, and most of them don't have like large amounts of rewards. Like, some of them don't even have like video rewards or anything. They just have like access to a Discord and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's not the point to me, as I'm not giving them the money for the behind the scenes stuff or for the extra stuff. I'm giving them the money so that they can carry on doing what they're doing and making the content that I'm enjoying watching, that otherwise I'd be watching for free. I think that's a good business model, personally.
I do. I think that's good.
So link to our Patreons in that. No, I'm kidding.
Not yet. You know, there's no point.
Yeah, that'll come back and bite me when we actually end up getting a Patreon. Nah, I mean, like I said, hopefully we will if we ever get the interest. Like, I do genuinely think it is a good... These birds keep fucking me.
It's a good idea. Ugh.
I know. Birds fucking a dog. This is just weird. He looks so angry when he jumps. It makes me laugh. This is a cute game, Sam. I mean, probably apart from the part where he steals pants, that's probably less cute, but I don't know. Cute to me. I think that might be it for news, though, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about the big thing this week, our big subjects, as we watched...
Pew news! Pew news! I mean...
Pew.
One news.
We watched a movie that we've talked about on the podcast before, but not talked about it as in detail. More of we've mentioned that we want to watch it.
We've mentioned that we've been desperately trying to find out how to watch it.
And we did. We found it.
We found it!
The Lodge.
Eventually. And it is 2019's The Lodge?
2019, yes. 2019's.
Because there's a few The Lodges, so I guess we'll specify. It is the one with Riley Coe and Richard Armitage and that kid from It.
Stranger Things. Jaden something or other.
You said Stranger Things.
Ah, it's because they're all the fucking same, that's why.
I know. I'm only laughing because I had to think. That's why I paused and went the kid from It. Because I nearly said Stranger Things, and then you went Stranger... Oh.
Is that gold? Oh my god, there's a gold block so far up. That's so weird.
Every time you say something, I look on my screen for it for some reason. I'm just not used to this. I was like, yes, there are a lot of gold coins on my... Oh, you mean on your screen.
That's what he means. So what did you think of the lodge?
I thought it was fucking fantastic. I actually liked it more, like, thinking about it after we watched it.
Me too.
Like, I really enjoyed it while we watched it, but sitting down and getting to think about all of the depth behind it.
It was a pretty distressing movie, actually.
It was indeed. So we'll talk about it spoiler-free, and then we'll let you know when we're going into spoilers. If you want to drop out until you've watched the movie, feel free to do so, and then come back and watch the end after you watch the movie. Give us some more clicks. What? No? What? Yeah, do that.
Please.
We're so alone. What did you know about the lodge going into the lodge, I guess?
Literally nothing, to be honest. Just that Riley Coe was in it.
I knew the basic premise that a husband and his new wife, not his new wife, his new girlfriend, were going to a lodge in the middle of somewhere very cold and snowy.
Yeah.
With the husband's... No, I keep saying husband, but he's not the husband because they're not married. Whoa. The dad's two kids. So obviously the stepmom... Question mark. If it's the girlfriend, is she the stepmom or is she a step
partner?
In training?
I don't know, yeah, in training.
A stepper one. She's like the Padawan of stepmoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew the premise, basically. That whole ramble was, I knew the premise. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know how the stepman came into the picture, which was very abrupt and didn't expect it. Yeah. We'll talk about that more in spoilers, I guess. So let's give a brief, spoiler-free review, I guess, of the movie. Would you recommend it, first and foremost, I guess?
Yeah, I'll just go straight into my rating. It's an 8 out of 10 for me, which is a big praise. Yeah, did I like it compared to some other horrors? Maybe not so much. It did some interesting stuff. I've got my reasons. It's not particularly like anything big.
Are the reasons in spoilers?
No, not really.
Because I'm interested in the reason. I was like, don't just leave me hanging.
I don't know. I think my main reason is that as well. I don't know. I feel really bad doing it. I think maybe it's because I'm trying to word it. I think because I don't want you to be like, oh, what, and then I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean it that way.
I'm an understanding fella, sir.
I think I'm a little bit bored of the style. Now, hear me out. So,
no, I get you.
It's very It's very like art house horror, and I think it's because we watch a lot of them. And I think maybe it's nothing against the genre as such. It's more I've watched a lot of them recently. I'm getting burned out. Like, I think it was maybe just that. So maybe it's not so much with the film. I think it was more my enjoyment of it. And not to say it's a bad movie, because I thought it was fucking great. I think it's just that style. I was like, oh, it's another one of these art house horrors. Okay, cool.
Yeah, which is ironic because they are our faves. But I do understand.
They are, yeah. I think it's just because there's a lot of them at the moment. And
it was pretty much, I would say, slap bang in the middle of Hereditary and The Lighthouse.
Yes, yeah.
Which are both two of my favourite horrors of the last few years. And so is this. But I understand they all are getting quite similar.
Yeah, I think that was my problem.
I don't think it quite ruined my enjoyment of it, so to speak. At no point was I feeling that to a point where detracted for me, but I understand why it could for someone.
Yeah, I think what I was kind of feeling with it was I was more on that side at the start where I was like, okay, all right. And then as the plot continued and as stuff happened, I was like, oh, okay, well, the story's pretty good and original. So while it does have that style, it's good. So if that hadn't been if the story hadn't been as compelling, I probably would have made it lower, but probably maybe like a 6 or something. But the 5, probably more a 6. I thought the acting was really good, but the story brought it back up.
Yeah,
quite a bit for me.
Yeah, it was interesting because it basically, to me, it almost changed which movies it was like several points throughout it. Like at the start, I was like, oh, it's like Hereditary. And then I was like, oh, now it's like The Lighthouse. And then I was like, oh, now it's kind of like the ending of Hereditary with a bit of Midsummer in there. And then I was like, oh, now it's like The Lighthouse again. You know what I mean? Obviously, it'll make more sense in spoilers or if you've seen the movie. But yeah, it was interesting because it didn't get stale to me for that reason. That was like, oh, it's not just trying to be all of them at once. It's kind of changing my perception of what the movie is. There's a few twists in there that make you think it's something that it's not, or make you think that maybe it's not what you thought it is all along. It's an interesting one.
It certainly defied my expectations.
Oh, yes.
Which is a very good thing. I thought the performances were great. As I said, I think Riley Coe was brilliant. I liked Richard Armitage. I thought the kid actors were great.
Yeah, don't think anyone was bad in it.
No, definitely not. They were great all round.
Couldn't say much about the cult leader guy, I guess. Didn't
yeah, I found out that's actually Riley Coe's father.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I guess from here on out, we'll go into spoilers. So if this is where you jump off the train, thank you for sticking around. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
For putting up with all of our terrible technological issues. I'm sure we'll have more for you next week. Technological issues, that is. Also content, but probably more technological issues. Much love.
Cheers.
Bye.
Right, so...
We've never said bye and then carried on talking before. It feels weird. You guys are... It feels like we're with the exclusive club now. Like, anyone that's still listening, you guys are VIP as fuck. You guys are listening past the bye. This is usually just for us.
You're our Patreons.
That's our word. You don't get to say that.
So yeah, what
would be like a PewDiePie thing. It's like if we ever make it big and we like meet fans in public and they're like, bye! And then we like Peter Griffin strangle them against the wall. That's our word! You can't say that!
Just kill them. Accidentally.
Like Kate Kane in Batwoman.
Yeah, exactly. And then we can reflect.
We can't be expected to like take the consequences of our actions or anything. Like, clearly she didn't have
to. For sure. So yeah, I mean, where to start? This film, I think, is... What would you say this film's about?
Yes.
If you could give it one word, I would probably say...
Family. But unironically.
Family.
I only realised after I said it that it's the Disney thing, isn't it? The Star Wars. It's about family. It's about family. But it is. It is literally about family.
It's about family. It's about religion and faith. The afterlife.
I would say even those are just subsets. Like they felt like side notes. The only reason they felt relevant was because of the relationship her character had with her father, which is obviously family.
Family.
I felt like that was more of a metaphor for like the impact your family can leave on you kind of thing.
Yeah.
It all felt like it was about family and kind of just the damage that can be done and also the damage that can still be done, I guess, in new relationships.
Yeah. Kind of like PTSD damage. If you would call it that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, essentially, Riley Coe's character was she belonged to a cult run by her father, and her father ended up doing a big suicide pact thing with all these kids because they were in this cult, and the only survivor was Riley Coe, his daughter. I think her name's Grace in the film. Yeah, it's Grace.
I don't know. Was it ever... I didn't hear it if it was. Was it explained that he intentionally left her, or... that she just survived it?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I didn't ever hear them clarify.
Yeah.
I assumed... My assumption was that he intentionally left her, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe it was a deep-seated, like, he couldn't kill his own daughter thing, but...
Yeah.
I guess it works either way.
Well, she doesn't die, and she kind of rehabilitates herself, and she obviously gets Rich Armitage's character. Now, Rich Armitage is going through a divorce, and
journalist or something, isn't he?
Yeah,
like he's doing a story on her. I thought was the point. That's how they knew each other. Could be wrong, but that's what I thought was at the start. When I could be very wrong, actually. The only reason I thought that is because obviously they were looking at these articles in the dad's office, but I guess that could have just been because that was where the computer was.
Yeah, potentially.
I assumed those articles were on his computer and those videos were on his computer because he was researching it, but that might have just been a 2 and 2 on my part. That's totally wrong.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one, but
so yeah,
so she starts going out with Rich Armitage, however, has just lost his ex-wife to suicide because they're having a divorce.
Well, no, it's before that, isn't it? She's the reason.
Oh, Grace is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's a mixture of the two, probably, isn't it?
Yeah. No, just you made it sound like they met after the wife had killed herself.
Oh no!
I was like, well, that changes the narrative completely. No. Yeah, he explains that he wants a divorce because he's with Grace.
Yeah, and he's going to get married to her, and she ends up killing herself.
Then Alicia just blows her head off on screen.
Alicia Silverstone, yeah. Which is pretty, that kind of like set in motion the movie.
Yeah, neither of us were expecting it at all. It was very sudden. No. It was very well done.
Yeah.
Very Hereditary vibes in execution, how it just left us both kind of quiet for a second, like, oh.
That.
Fuck.
Yeah, and the kids, obviously, they're very sad, but they're also very untrustworthy of Grace, who, obviously, the dad is going to have to look after the kids now, and they don't like Grace because she thinks she's a psycho because of the cult, and they're looking at newspaper things of her, and they're really suspicious. And for Christmas, the dad says, right, we're all going to go to this little cabin, this little lodge, and we're going to, have a great Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And Grace is trying her best to connect the kids, but the kids are just like, no, fuck you. And it starts snowing, starts getting very frosty, and the dad has to go do some work. And he says, I'll be back for Christmas. So Grace looks after the two kids. And something starts going horribly wrong in the house. Yeah, well, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, well, it starts quite normal. There's a lot of issues, but their issues are just interpersonal. Like, the kids are being dicks to her, and she's trying to connect with them, but then she's having her own issues, and she appears to be sleepwalking a lot.
Yeah.
She's on pills, I imagine, for that.
Correct.
She's having issues with those kind of things, and then they finally... Oh, and the boy's creeping on her in the shower.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking weird.
Yeah. And then they finally start to seemingly connect a little bit. And they're all watching The Thing.
Good
and
taste.
The little girl's like, I'm cold, put on the gas heater. And Riley Coe's terrified of it, because obviously that is probably how her dad killed everyone, I assume, was what my takeaway. So yeah, that's a little Chekhov's gun there for you. Which is why I'm mentioning it. And then things start getting weirder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
What happens first? Everything goes missing.
Yeah.
All the clothes and items and the doll the kid has of her mom and stuff, all gone, along with Grace's dog.
Yes. Things start getting very, very strange, and she...
obviously, it's implied to the audience that she did it because she's sleepwalking.
Yeah. But...
Yeah, I didn't even question it. I was like, oh yeah, they're just going to have her reveal that she can't control herself.
Yeah.
Made perfect sense to me.
She starts seeing visions of her dad. She starts like walking out in the snow, trying to find something because her dog goes missing, obviously, and she's trying to find a dog, and she sees like she sees that house, and she kind of shaped like a crucifix. She starts going kind of crazy because she's
it's kind of shaped like a Minecraft villager, let's be honest.
Yeah. And yeah, it kind of goes from... It just kind of starts going absolutely fucking insane from this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like talking about the lighthouse, where when you talk about it, it doesn't sound like a lot happens, but a lot happens.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
Should we just go straight into it? I mean, the eldest son, the Stranger... I'm going to call him the Stranger Things kid. I don't give a fucking shit. The Stranger Things kid, he's like, oh, maybe, we're dead. Maybe because the gas thing was left on and we're dead and we're in purgatory. And that's why all this weird stuff's happening. And Grace starts believing it. She's like, oh shit, yeah. What if it is? And there's a bit where the son hangs himself, but he's awake and he's like, he's alive. And he's like, look, see, we're in purgatory because I'm not actually dead. You know, we're getting punished. We need to repent for our sins.
He goes very biblical, which I pointed out at the time. Like his language is weird. We cannot die, as we are already dead. And I was like, that's not the way the kid would speak. That's weird. Which obviously makes sense later, but I did pick it up at the time as being odd.
Yeah, it was strange. And basically, it's revealed that the kids were actually the twisters. They were pranking her the whole time.
Fuck you! You just got pranked! Yo! Pranked, baby!
And yeah, it was pretty depressing because from that point on, she's so fucking upset, and the kids realize what they've fucking done by terrorizing her. In fact, her dog comes back, and her dog's basically dead, just froze to death.
Yeah, it doesn't even come back, does it? She just finds it out frozen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, it can't move. It's gone.
No, of course.
Just imagine it sliding up to the door.
Hey, I'm gonna die now. But yeah, it kind of gets a little depressing because she's so convinced, though. However, because they're like, no, it was a joke.
Like,
yeah,
you hate those kids, right? I did.
Yeah,
fucking idiots.
It was a joke. It was a joke. But she's so convinced that yes, she is in purgatory. She just doesn't believe them.
And then she gets the hot knee.
Yeah, she got the hot knee.
You can't come back from the hot knee.
It's funny because, like, at one scene where she's going crazy, she's just like on her knees and she's like rustling around through the snow. Her knees must be freezing. She's going around in circles. And then later on, she gets some hot logs and she just fucking lays her knees on them.
I like how funny hot logs just sounds on its own.
Hot logs.
She gets some hot. Just like she goes down to the corner shop. You got any of those hot logs? I could use some hot logs. Do you mean hot dogs, Mum? No, hot logs.
Yeah.
Did I fucking stutter? Give me some hot. But yeah, she just pulls them off the fire, and she's just kneeling on them, screaming.
Yeah.
And then she gets back up, and then she kneels back down on them.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a self-flagellation kind of religious punishment thing.
The kids are kind of terrified, aren't they? They're like,
as you well would be.
Yeah, they're like, this is weird now, and they go like to the top room, and they're hiding there. Grace has a gun because Rich Armitage gave it to her. Said, if anything happens, there's a gun here. You can use to defend yourself. Blah blah blah. While I'm away, and she brings the gun up and is basically planning to kill them all because, well, if they're in purgatory, nothing can happen. Blah blah blah. And she's having these religious episodes. She's properly just gone over the edge, and. Yes. The dad comes back because he couldn't get in contact with him. He comes back and he finds her with a gun and with the kids, and he's like, you have to do this, blah blah blah, And she kills him.
Well, she tries to kill herself first. She's like,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'll prove it to you. And it's a fantastic scene. It's very well shot and acted. I mean, firstly, let's just take a little minute to talk about how great Wiley Coe is in this. Like,
yeah, she's fantastic.
I would say, I'm going to go as far as to just say 10 out of 10 acting wise.
Yeah.
Like, it's up there with, like, Pattinson and The Lighthouse to me. It's very fucking good. Yeah, she puts the gun to her head and she's like, look, I'll prove to you that I won't die when I shoot the gun. And she shoots it and the gun jams. Obviously, no bullet comes out.
What's wrong with it? Time to die, Tintin, you little cunt. Fucking hell! Come here, you little fucking slaphead. Get off with your dick and I'm only going to shoot you. Shit. Oh, you cunt! Now we're Tintin, now it's time to die. Providing this gun will work and the trigger will not jam. Oh shit, it's jammed.
And then she goes, see? Like, in her mind, she's just shot herself through the head. Like, she doesn't know the difference at this point. Like, she doesn't even realise that no bullets come out and gone through her. She thinks a bullet has just gone through her head, which was the bit where I was like, Jesus, like, she's just gone. I thought it was a very, very well acted, subtle scene. I don't know, it was a highlight for me, I guess. I just fell in a sewer again.
My hotel's not a hotel anymore, but I'm making a reception area for it. It's not a hotel.
I'm excited to see it when you throw it on screen.
It's terrible. It's fucking horrible.
I just keep changing costume. That's the only thing you've got to look forward to in mine. I'm currently One Punch Dog.
Oh, interesting.
He's got a little One Punch costume and he looks bald.
That's cute. And then she ends up killing.
Yeah, then
Rich
she shoots the dad.
Yeah, but she takes it in stride because she's like, it's purgatory.
Well, she doesn't. She looks genuinely like she's got it at first, I think.
But I don't know. That was a weird one. I didn't know.
She shoots him, and the kids run away, and then she's like, I can't remember his name. I'm just going to say Richard. Probably not his name.
I think it was Richard, wasn't it?
Okay, maybe it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, Richard? Richard? And she asks a few times, like she's genuinely surprised. Because obviously she expected him to be like her and still be normal and not dead now because she thinks she just shot herself. So she does seem to react to the fact that she shot him.
Yeah.
But then I think that grief pushes her further over the edge is how I took it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because she doesn't just instantly go, I don't give a shit. Her first response is, Richard? And she seems genuinely surprised and she kneels down to check him.
Yeah.
As though she's actually concerned. And then I think she just snaps and she's like, well, it doesn't matter because we're in purgatory. He's probably not real or something. I don't know. It seems like that's where she then goes, woo. And then we get a nice scene that's basically the ending of 2019's Pet Sematary, but good.
Yeah, where the kids are like, no, we need to escape. And they run off and stuff. And then she just kind of walks up to the car with the gun. They can't start the car because it's stuck in the snow. And then we cut to this scene where they're just kind of at this table at the end having food, and she's singing this, hymn, and the kids are terrified. And she puts these, she puts these things over her mouth. What do they say in it?
Sin.
Is it sin?
Yeah. It's what the dad had done to the victims of the cult when you saw the video of the bodies.
Oh, yeah. So she gets a little sinny thing out, and she's like, these little sinny mouth thingies.
I enjoyed just how cute it sounds. Gets a little sinny thing out.
The sinny things, yeah.
Put the little sinny things on them. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and then she basically is like, right, okay, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Essentially.
And then the movie ends.
Left ambiguous. Yeah, it's left ambiguous. She kind of has a close-up on a gun, which Yumi talked about at the end. We didn't know if there was two bullets.
Two bullets in it that are very prominently shown. They're a lot of brighter colour than the rest of the gun, and they're very much in frame, which made me think that the implication was obviously
saving it for the kids.
These are the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess she'll be the sole survivor again, maybe. It's kind of how I was taking it, but
very interesting.
Left to interpretation. That's the point, I guess.
Yeah.
Most of this movie is left to interpretation, so don't take everything we say as gospel. But that's how I viewed a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. So the twist was great. I thought it was really well delivered. Because we had a feeling at first,
I think,
didn't we? Yeah.
Because the first thing of them being in purgatory, I thought was a twist.
Yeah.
Because I said, oh, is it going to be supernatural? Probably not. And then the kid's hanging himself. I'm like, oh, it is actually going to be supernatural. And then we see the speaker in the harness that they used to set it all up. I'm like, oh, it's not supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh, they had us in the second middle half, not going to lie.
And then, it's interesting because you have all the doll's house reflecting the scenes to come as well, which was quite...
Which seemed supernatural, but then we realised it's the kids fucking with them.
Yeah, because they had all this doll of the mum and stuff and all that. And they're like, we did it for Mummy, we did the whole thing for Mummy, because the mum obviously doesn't like Grace. But it's like, no, it's not a very... I mean, they're kids, so they're fucking idiots. But it's like, you wouldn't do that. That's dumb.
Doubt this is what Mummy wanted.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as a horror, psychological horror, I think it's great. As you said, as we were saying, it's very Shining-like as well, and Lighthouse-esque, and there's loads of Hereditary kind of... It felt more in the style of Hereditary, through the doll's house and such.
Yes.
And I thought that the performances were amazing. I'd watch it again, definitely in a heartbeat.
Great cinematography in a lot of places as well, I think, especially with the doll's house.
Yeah, the directors are these two Austrian people who... This is their first big Western movie. I'm saying Western as in like it's a cowboy movie. It's not. It's not a.
That was where my head went instantly as well.
Yeah, it's not a yeehaw movie. But they seem very, they love the script and stuff. I think they're really happy with it, and they were really excited to make it. Everyone seemed watching a lot of interviews, and everyone seemed really keen on it all, and as they should be. Everyone had a really good time making it, and it seemed like it's very original. I don't know. I've not seen a movie like that. There's probably something similar, maybe, but not in the way the twist goes. I don't think.
There were a lot, like we said, there were a lot of compartments. If we compartmentalize it, there were a lot of bits of it that were similar, but not in the way they were put together.
Yeah.
It was
I have no
original
idea
in
what
its
it is.
execution, and it's almost like a tapestry, isn't it?
You'll see this when we come back to it, but I've basically made a reception area that's not a reception area. It's basically where I just can put chickens in the house. It's fucking weird. I don't know why I've done that. Anyway.
Yeah. There were a few things I thought would be worth maybe just talking about that I thought about afterwards, which was clearly Grace did have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's a shock to anybody, but the twist initially made me think that a lot of the things that were happening was part of the kid's plan. And then you realise it's not, you know. Like, the twist of the kids being behind it all kind of makes you absolve Grace.
Yeah.
But then you remember she did hit the little girl in the face with a gun. That did actually happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when I was thinking about it afterwards, I was like, oh, wait, no, that can't have been part of the plan. And I was like, oh, well, she was actually sleepwalking.
Yeah.
So I was like, there was some actual danger there in her character before they pushed her over the edge. She just probably wouldn't have gone as far as they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't a perfectly harmless, innocent woman either.
No. I do feel very bad for her in the end, though.
Oh, yeah, I mean, even then I feel bad for her,
horrible.
because anything that was happening there was based around her dad's trauma, and anything that happens at the end is based around the kid's trauma. Like, all
She
of
was
it's
clearly
trauma
mentally
put on her
unstable
by
and-
other people. She has no, like, ill will of her own.
Yeah, it was quite heartbreaking, to be honest, in the end. Because she was... Oh, it's a horrible thing to happen to anyone.
I said to you, it was sad to me that, like, the dad dies thinking that she's just a psycho.
Yeah, when it's not her
Like-
kids. These kids were the ones who were...
He doesn't know that the
Little
kids were
fast.
behind it all. He just sees this woman pointing a gun around and then shooting him in the face.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't mean much in the end, I guess, because they're all dead, but it's a sad thought to be like, oh, his last thoughts were, oh, fuck, I should never have dated this psycho. And she wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
she was, but not without provocation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was quite heartbreaking.
I'm in a little husky hood, and it's adorable.
Oh.
I'll let you add a bit of the footage in. It's a Shiba Inu dog, obviously, and he's like wearing a blanket with a hood that's a husky's head on top of his head.
That's cute. Barbaric, but cute.
But I mean, we don't have to say everything, like we said. Hopefully, you'll watch the movie for yourself and make your own opinions. It's one of those movies that's definitely up for interpretation. So
Yeah.
I've said all of the main points that I took from it. I mean, I guess on the subject I was just talking about, how there were clearly a lot of issues with her. I assume the Minecraft villager house isn't real.
No, I don't think it was real.
Never indicate. Again, it could be. That's the point. You'll never know. But I was just interested where you sat on that one.
No, I don't think it is.
Because afterwards I was like, oh, I guess she started losing it out there when she was out on the ice. Which makes sense. It's a pretty good place to lose your mind, surrounded by complete whiteness and freezing cold temperatures.
Yeah, I personally don't think it was. Just the shape of it as well. I feel like it was intentionally made to like a crucifix, maybe to say, oh, it's definitely not real, by the way, just to let you know it's not
I'm
real.
sure you saw the dad through the window at one point as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Which I was like, yeah, I guess this is all in her head. Obviously, at the time, I thought it was in her head, but I thought it was in her head because they were in purgatory, so it was like a real manifestation of something in her head. But then afterwards, I'm like, oh, no, I guess she was just a little bit insane by then. And then obviously it just gets worse the more they go into it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Stupid fucking kids, man.
Yeah, little cunts.
Don't have kids. That's my takeaway of this movie.
Are we hoping they... Yeah. That and, don't... I mean, for him, I would never leave my kids with this woman who I've not been dating that long, and I know the kids don't like her. Like, I just would never do that. It's like a dumb thing to do, but...
Depends on how psycho my kids are.
I suppose, yeah.
If my kids have a history of doing dangerous pranks on people, I'd be like, maybe not. If she had a history of doing dangerous things to people, probably not. We don't know how much he knows. Obviously, she shouldn't have been in charge of the kids, but...
No, definitely not.
I don't know if he knew everything about the sleepwalking and everything. I'm not sure. He knew about
She
the
tried.
nosebleeds because they mentioned that near the start.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shag you. So we didn't say it. He just basically says, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you, and you're gonna have a nosebleed, bitch. Ha, it's really kinky. Ha.
I enjoy your summary.
Thank you. Yeah. So I would give the Lodge an 8 out of 10.
And I would give the the Lodge, also
Shining.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's closer to a 9 than a 7.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Yeah, sorry
As we
for...
said.
I guess we didn't say this at the start, so I'll say it now as a summary. Sorry for all the issues with getting videos up this week for anyone who actually cared that much. We got them up, they were just all a little bit delayed, because YouTube's system fucked us as well. We're having a lot of technical issues. We're going to try and schedule all the future of the shows, except for these Waffle Overs, which obviously we have to do weekly because they're relevant to news.
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be less issues with scheduling and releasing shows in the future, because they should be uploaded in advance and ready to go well ahead of time. We're going to try and record them all in advance and edit them all in advance, so hopefully that'll take care of a lot of the problems. It means there might be a little bit of a lull on external videos, but maybe not, because I might be releasing these other series while we edit the next big joint series.
Yeah.
In which case there hopefully won't be a lull in videos.
There's a midget villager. Just. Oh my god! It just turned. Oh, what the fuck! It just grew into an adult. Oh my god, Shaq, you're gonna love that when you say that. What the fuck was that? What are you? I'm gonna kill it. No, that's not right. That's inhuman.
I can't even
Fucking
see
die.
it, and I don't like it.
It's just become an adult, and I've killed it. I'm a horrible human being.
Well, on that note.